when you walk don't talk you chant พุทโธพุทโธพุทโธพุทโธพุทโธพุทโธ then you see how monkey your mind is think this think that念经的功德很大，刚才有人叫我念经，帮他加持。等一下这条路20 km就是自己加持自己。不拖，念不拖也不是念长长的经啊，不用的，不拖，明白吗？不拖，不要讲话，不要讲。等一下啊，我们走完要去吃肯德基，去 不要讲，静静。不拖，มันจะไปคุยนะบางทีก็เดินมันเหนื่อยเนาะนั่นก็คิดเลยเดี๋ยวกินเสร็จกูต้องเอาแล้วเคนตักกี้แมคโดนัลด์ไอติมอะไรโอ้โหเวลามันหิวมันก็เป็นอย่างนั้นแหละธรรมดากินน้ำเยอะๆกินน้ำถ้าจะคิวนะหมายความว่ากินเกลือหน่อยเกลือแร่ผสมน้ำนะน้ำเย็นอย่าไปกินนะมันจะตะคิวกันใหญ่คุณไม่รู้นะกินน้ำเย็นๆเนี่ยชอบร้อนๆใช่ไหมล่ะโอ้ย cold water normally we walk very nice finish your leg will be very tired it will make your leg bloated 我们的脚就会肿ขามันจะบวมน้ำมันลงที่ขาไงเพราะฉะนั้นอย่าไปกินน้ำไม่ให้จิบน้ำจิบเอาแต่ก็ข้าไม่อยู่แหละคอยดูอะกึกท่านนั้นน่ะนะแล้วก็เวลาเดินนี่นะให้ดูเพราะที่นี่10 ล้อเยอะรถพ่วง这边的10 ล้อ很多你不要去走那个路的旁边不要走草上走在一个草那边会有一点草不用紧的你会觉得你的袜子会被那个there'll be a lot of grass that will stick to your what do you call your socks it's okay don't go and say very dirty and walk outside no because the truck will suck you in 那个车的力很有力它会把你的人拉进去这个大路的 OK มันจะดูดเราเนี่ยเวลาเดินเนี่ยนี่ก็ทรัคอีกหลายปั๊บมันจะดูดตัวเรามันจะดูดเข้าไปในถนนเลยระวังให้ดีแล้วสวนเดินสวนนะรถมาทางนี้เราเดินสวนไม่ใช่ไปเดินตามหลังหลังไปหันรถไปเอาหน้านี่ต้องดูรถมันจะหลบทัน走的时候走车的另外一边如果车这样呢我们走这样看车反方向反那个方向 against the traffic don't walk with the traffic against those that you can see the vehicle I remember when we were approaching Seymour remember the council said you're not supposed to walk it's dangerous I said so where should I walk This is not a super highway, it's a freeway, we can walk. So you must go against, remember. These are the few things you must be in mind. Anybody got handphone easy? Hello? So every 5 kilo, ทุก 5 กิโลจะมีที่จุดพักกินน้ำจุดพักกินน้ำ每个5 kilo 有一个就有一辆车等你们有给你们喝水的啦不是然后最后一个过了他们才会去前面的他会等到最后一个来他们才会走他们不会讲不管你的不用怕这是什么东西上车除非你扭到脚扭到肿不可以走才上车不一点点我又上车ที่ขึ้นรถเนี่ยยกเว้นว่าเดินไม่ไหวเดี๋ยวจะแพ้ปลาลิดกับปลาแดงนะจะบอกให้ไหนขึ้นรถเดี๋ยวเสียฟอร์มนะวันนี้โอเคนะถ้าไม่มีอะไรก็จำไว้พุทโธเนาะอุทิศบุญก่อนนะรับพร回向功德回向给你们的 祖先，你们的冤亲债主哦，我们这条路要走的这些护法神回向给他们，อุทิศบุญเนาะให้เทวดาคุ้มครองยะถาวริวหาปุราปาริปุเรนติ
This is the second Tudong organized and led by Ajahn Keng. So it is very fortunate for us in Melbourne to have Ajahn Keng to lead us for the Tudong in Australia. We are walking from Melbourne, Lara to Adelaide this time. So it's a very noble walk for peace and harmony, and I hope to have everybody strong support and also at the same time practice along the way. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. You ready?
Very ready. Thank you.
วันนี้เท่าไหร่22 กิโลสู้ไหมพวกเราสู้ค่ะสู้สาธุ
เท่าที่สุขภาพร่างกายจะดีไหว แต่ตั้งใจว่าจะเดินตลอดทาง
This year the people has overwhelming. Last year we have like maybe 12 to 13 people. This year is triple the number.
From Malaysia, from Penang, all the way here, and I have the opportunity to walk. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I want to walk, finish the journey. Patiba Buchana.
สวัสดีค่ะวันนี้วันแรกนะคะในการเดินทุดงค์ขอเชิญญาติธรรมทุกท่านร่วมกันอนุโมทนาบุญนะคะสาธุค่ะ
Looking forward to walk after the last year. So we believe it will be a pleasant walk under the hot sun. Probably cold night for a different experience. Sadhu.
I feel really happy and to be able to actually join the Tudong this year. I've joined it last year and this year we're going to join for a bit longer. So I really hope that I can gain more experience from this. Thank you.
Let's do this.
ในชีวิต 60 ปีแล้วยังไม่เคยไปเลยครั้งแรกตื่นเต้นค่ะ
เป็นครั้งแรกเหมือนกันค่ะ เดินทุดงค์กับหลวงพ่อเองค่ะสาธุ
ก็คือวันนี้เนี่ยพวกเราพร้อมที่จะไปเดินทุดงค์กับหลวงพ่อแข่ง หรือท่านเจ้าคุณแข่ง ทุกคนก็แฮปปี้มากสำหรับพี่เองเป็นวันแรกค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
หลังจากปีที่แล้วได้เดินครั้งก่อนนู้นจากสุขภาพที่ไม่ค่อยดีเท่าไหร่หลังจากนั้นรู้สึกสุขภาพตัวเองดีเพราะฉะนั้นความศรัทธาที่เดินทุดงค์ตามท่านเจ้าคุณเข่งทำให้มีกำลังใจเต็มร้อยค่ะปีนี้
Buddha, 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 Buddha. No talking. Buddha, Buddha.
มีแล้วทุกคนมีแล้วค่ะ
มีแล้วยังมา
Today is our Tudong, the Dhamma road for 2022. We are going start from Lara to Adelaide.
Purpose for Tudong is really meditative walk. The monk will walk from one village to the next, and they normally visiting all the monastery along the way. And the purpose of the walk is not just to cover the distance from point A to point B, but more like expressing the loving kindness and also blessing for every human being, every spirit, and wishing well. And so this year is just similar to last year. Last year we left Geelong on the 11th of March, and we arrived in Sydney 11th of May. And that covered the distance of 1,100 K over that period of 2 months. And this year, once again, the monks and the supporters from Sampantawang, Australia, we're leaving Geelong today, the 19th of February, and we will cover the distance. And now we choose to go for the longer way, which is 200 K more instead of a shortcut. So the reason for that is we want to visit the Great Stupa of Bendigo. So we have to leave today and heading to Anarchy, Mount Wallace, Balan, Delphus, and we're heading to the Bendigo. And from Bendigo, we will move down to Maryborough and then Beaufort and Ararat and towards Grampian and Horsham and go to Adelaide. As you can see, there's a lot of preparation, a lot of organizing, and a lot of enthusiasm from the supporter. Today we got about 80 people who will join the walk. The walk will be starting soon. And while we're walking, we're actually contemplating about the meaning of life, about our practice. We reflection of the, how we practice, and our mentality of the walk is meditating.
The slipper you can change, but your body you can't change. Huh?
ไป
ค่อยๆเดิน
โทโท
โอ้ยค่ะสาธุสาธุสาธุสาธุ จุ่มนี่มาจุ่มหน้าจุ่มหลังสาธุสาธุสาธุ
bodily, physically tired, but mentally very happy, rejoice, very happy.
Ni mana yang ada flower di sana?
19, 20, 21, 22.
Today kau dah shoot.
50多
50多。
54，因为有些 driver 驾驶 already
啊，OK，
54，差不多54。
Ready 啊？不拖啊？
啊。
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's very nice, brisk walk. Mountain's nice. Road is very good.
ท้าทายไงเขาเจอแต่ทีราบๆเขาไม่ค่อยมีทริคเท่าไหร่มันต้องเจอเขามั่งชีวิตก็ต้องขึ้นลงมั่งธรรมดาอย่าเอาแบบราบๆอย่างเดียวไม่มันหรอก ขึ้นบ้างลงบ้าง ลงน้ำบ้างขึ้นทะเลบ้างขึ้นเขาบ้างธรรมดา
สวัสดีค่ะวันนี้วันที่2ได้ตามรอยบุญท่านเจ้าคุณเข่งนะคะเดินทุดงค์ร่วมกับท่านวันที่2ได้ข้ามเขาลูกแรกจำชื่อไม่ได้ด้วยความเหนื่อยแต่ว่าอยากจะเนมเขาลูกนี้ The Hill Q Amarin เพราะว่าได้เดินได้อย่างทุลักทุเลแต่ก็อย่างมาถึงจุดเช็คพอยท์ที่1ด้วยความปลาบปลื้มเป็นปิติกับร่วมคณะทีมยอดเยี่ยมมากค่ะอยากเชิญทุกท่านมาร่วมกันสร้างบุญสร้างกุศลฝึกตัวเองทั้งได้ระเบียบและวินัยและกุศลร่วมกันค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
And then okay, stop.
Hi, Popo.
ยะถาวริวหาปุราปาริปุเรนติสากรังเอวเมวะนิโตตินาเพตานังอุปกัปปติอิจิตังปริตังตุมหังคิปะเมวะสมิจตุสัพเพปุเรนตุสังกปาจันโทปนาราโสยะธามริโชติราโสยะธา
ปิติโยวิวันจันตุสัพพะโรโควินาศตุมาเทภวัตวันตรายโยสุขิติกายุโกภวะภิวาทนาสิริสานิจังอุทธาปัจจายโนจัตตารโอธัมมาวันตันติอายุวันโนสุขังภะลังอายุโนภะละโนธิโรวันนะโนปฏิภาณโนสุขัสสะดาธเมธาวิสุขัสโสอริ
I feel so cold today. It's like maybe 10 degrees Celsius now.
Look. Oh, look at the leg.
No. Okay. Better, you see?
Ladies, say something.
Hey. Say something. No.
Ya, asam betul dah sih.
Oh ya?
Loma มันลอยมันอันตรายเดี๋ยวเอาแล้วนะเดี๋ยวพูดอีกต่อสิเอามาครับมันใช่นี่ต้องหมุนเข้าไม่ใช่นี่โอ้โหผักเลยอย่างแกะเนี่ยLet's go. One side pull, one side must let go.
Let go.
Let go. Hey.
You pull, she got to release a bit. Cannot both pull, the swing will break. Everything is like that, life. Got to give and take.
Give and take.
You got to give and take.
Compromise.
Compromise, then you can strike the balance all the time.
Yeah.
If not, you suffer. You expect things to happen the way you want, you will never.
Never happen. Never happen.
It will never happen. It will never happen. But you just follow the okay, never mind. We try to make good. Try to make the full use of what is coming along the way. That's better. Rather than you try to do the impossible. We do what is possible. Impossible, you know that it's impossible, we don't do it. We think what is possible, so we don't suffer so much.
If you think something impossible, like we suffer a lot.
A lot, yeah. Because we hope. You know, they teach you to be, these people, you must hope for this and hope for that. They hope for the best. They prepare for the worst also. They never prepare for the worst, only hope for the best.
Positive thinking.
Then the best never comes.
May never come.
Something that never comes you are waiting for.
Yeah.
See how swollen.
Then the best never comes, you suffer.
My goodness.
Walking meditation is something like Idiapata Bhavana, right? You
Yes.
can concentrate on the sensations of walking and the joints and things.
Yes. You concentrate on the most important your sensation of the whole body walking. You've got to be aware. Practice of mindfulness.
So that's like
because you
being
got
in
to
the present moment.
you got that normal, the still normalcy. Sometimes you got to aware of the oncoming vehicle. You cannot just concentrate on your feet. And then you go into the feet only and then the car bang. You got to be aware. This bad awareness, but your mind must be sharp. You got to position very sharp. You know, as you walk, you also know you're walking, so you are just on the sensation of the body. And just be aware. You know, until like okay, no vehicle, then you okay. You are very clear. This is a no road and no car. Forest, okay, then you go, come back, rest. Because you just very awareness, very tiring. Sometimes very tired. Because you use a lot of energy, your mental energy, very tired. So sometimes you got to go to one object and bang, stay there. Like your breath, or just a feet only, nothing else. It is very, very tiring because you got to be aware of so many things happening. Eye contact, be careful, your step, the whole.
Subconsciously we are all doing. It's about being aware of what we normally do.
Yeah. This is very good. They tried to talk about, they were talking about this psychologists. They say, if you practice meditation, you are the best psychologist. The Buddha is the best psychologist, the best. Because he know you ask anything, he know. Dukkha come from where? The psychologist, I think so, only they think so. Buddha, no. This is the cause is good. You don't think.
Certain, not you believe.
They always think this and think that. Oh, they guess, not sure. And we've got enough finding. Oh, not sure. You have the worldly science. You are still not sure. They presume to be sure. They say, we find a new thing. They say, Idang ho panna bhikkhave dukkhang arya satchang. The Buddha say, Jati bidukkhang birth. Jati bidukkhang jara morna bidukkhang. It's the true thing. This is the cause. If you don't want, then don't born. Why should you be born? I don't want. What you want? If you have a choice, then don't come. But you don't have a choice because the farmer, what to do? You must come and use our karma. Yeah. So, parideva dokha domanasa dukha apiyehi sampayogo dukho pihi vipayogo dukho ยำปิจ้านาราปาติตามปิทุกข้างสร้างกิเตนะปัจจุปัฏฐาขันธ์ทุกข้างนี่ the eight kinds of suffering it's so cover the whole thing already the whole world
At the end, Buddha says Panchupadana.
yeah panchu patana khanda dukkha the khanta the khanda is dukkha but we human being like that because our attachment no dukkha sukhang then we never find
Never find the Sukham we are looking for.
yeah then we say how come
Sukham becomes a Dukham when we find it.
at first it's sukhang a bit a few seconds then in depth now cannot service the Lord now dukkha already dukkha when you want when your want fulfilled already next thing is dukkha but anyway you got to put up with life this is life just live on under the 5 precepts what to do this route of samsara is not that you want to live you can live no
you can't decide
you cannot your karma will push you forward that's why the Buddha said you do good avoid evil purify the mind come back to this one again so that you can become lighter and lighter as you go along lighter in terms of if you become a human being you won't be so poor like last time that's dukkha people must work like shit you don't have to physically you see it's very refined look at the Buddha say very refined from body to your status your health your mind state the appearance everything is related okay we'll see you okay may you be well and happy healthy and strong may all your radiant whole okay Bye. ดับพิษครับผมนกคลานาดับพิษ That's the gatha Mahamoggallana went down to the hell to help the mother so when you go down the fire just subside so that this gatha you chant for people who have this burn problem and then you chant and very good yeah.
พุทโธพุทโธเลยไม่ต้องคิดอะไรสู้ๆโอเค
Very cooling. It's quite good. Very cooling. Very cool.
หลวงตาเหนอที่ได้หลวงตาเหนอหลวงตาเหนอ is very old this bang very normal มาก look at it very normal มาก you look at it give me a bowl of water I saw him he just chant and then he drinks water and then he just next day okay he come so happy so I was staying at the temple and I said what happened he said oh หลวงตาเหนอดังเลยหลวงตาเหนอ gonna get famous because he do this chant for this guy cured so after my meal I went to หลวงตาเหนอ Skuti I said หลวงตา I want to learn from you what is your trick to He said, no, it's in the book. Huh? In the book. It's nothing new. It's in the book. I said, where? He said, Mongkalana Dapit. Mongkalana Dapit. And I said, hey, the chant is quite long. No, you chant every day. Said, no, I don't chant. I just think of Mongkalana only. And a short chant he do lah. And that is not more Puthaya. อิเจมันว่าพระโมคคัลลาอินโนตวาอิเซตาวานะลันทานะโมพุทธายะ When we go, then elderly. When you go first?
Yeah, Bendigo.
You first, elderly.
I should convert to Buddhism, shouldn't I?
Sorry?
I should convert to Buddhism, my
You don't have
friends.
to convert. It's just very simple. It's about freedom.
Well, my friend is suffering from Parkinson's. Parkinson's disease where you shake.
It's just the body.
Yeah, and, but he said, you know, the non-judgmental is one of your things. Don't judge.
Yeah,
and
it's just what
kind
it is.
and gentle. That's what the world needs.
That's it. So Buddhism in 3 steps is just try to do good, try not to be naughty, and look inside.
Yeah. I'm in awe of what you do. I'm in awe of what you do.
Aura?
In awe. I'm so pleased and so happy. That you devote your life and your time to
Oh yeah. Last year
to
we
do good
walked.
things.
Last year we walked from Geelong to Sydney.
Wow. In summer?
We walked. We walked on March the 11th, and we completed our walk on the 12th of May. We reached Sydney with the group, but not so big group. Half of the group.
Thanks so much. Yeah, put a big smile on my face.
Wonderful. Good. ทำให้เขาดีใจ
Oh yeah, but quickly.
ก็ว่าผมจะเปลี่ยนศาสนาดีไหมผม ไม่ต้องเปลี่ยนเปลี่ยนใจมึงพอแล้ว เปลี่ยนความคิดเองนะไม่ต้องเปลี่ยนศาสนาหรอกเปลี่ยนศาสนาแค่รูปแบบเฉยๆ
Quiet.
We'll be walking to the alternative route 7 minutes more then we turn left from here after there will be a left we won't be walking on the main street too dangerous we go to the if there's an alternative we go alternative okay
7 extra minutes.
Okay. ก็หมอจะบอกว่าเขาตายหรือไปบอกว่าเราตายกูก็คนเราเนี่ยมันเป็นอย่างนี้นะกำลังใจนะคำพูดคนเนี่ยมันสามารถที่จะทำให้เรานี่โอ้ตกแบบตกเขียวไปเลยอะไอ้ที่ตายไม่ใช่ป่วยตายนะไม่มีกำลังใจก่อนหมดก่อนเลยนะนี่ดบแล้วป๊อบไปเลยจิตมันตกไงพอจิตตกนี่กำลังหมดเลยที่นี่แต่ถ้าคนใจเราแบบสู้นะไม่ยอมอ่ะเอาแล้วมีหวังมันจะดิดเลยถึงแม้จะไม่ได้มันก็หาทางจนได้ ดิ้นภาวนาสู้เอาพุทโธสู้อย่าไปถอยอย่าไปท้อเนี่ยชีวิตอย่างนี้แหละภาวนาไปทุกๆอย่างนี้มันดี ถ้าไม่มีอุปสรรคไม่มันอ่ะมันต้องมีขึ้นลงบ้างนะทุกข์บ้างสุขบ้างอย่างนี้แหละเกิดมาก็อย่างนี้แหละ stop about 12 kilometers away from Stupa. So we from here, the top there, on the front there, we go to the Stupa, rest tomorrow, we come back here, walk across the Stupa, past the Stupa, then come back to the Stupa again.
That's why
That
somebody
makes
was
sense,
saying,
yeah.
that makes sense then. We're not actually walking.
Of course.
It's really quite scary when you get lost. Or no direction. When you have no direction, that's the most frightening part. Yeah, I try to stupa to pick up all the other people.
วันนี้ผมยังไม่ได้เดินครับเลยสบายมาก
ขาเป็นไงหายบวม
หายบวมแล้วใส่ compression sock เอาดูว่าจะช่วยหรือเปล่าแต่หลวงพ่อให้กินยาแล้ว 3-4 วันติดกันยาช่วยได้เยอะลดมาเยอะแล้ว
You can't get better service than this.
I have, but your kind one I have.
This had also.
Yeah, we are very lucky we have the compassionate Stupa. The monk here, they accepted us to stay and rejoice with our Dhamma walk, right? So in this occasion, I saw there's a lot of people, so I want to emphasize safety first, right? When you walk, don't talk. Don't talk. Focus on the object of meditation. That should be the way. That's the purpose of the walk. And if you walk, you talk, you walk, you talk, you are not mindful of what you are doing. In the end, your mind will be like all over the place, right? And you're only training the body, that's all. Right? And you won't attain a concentrated mind. Yeah? Then you find that what for we walk? And the people start to criticize, why you walk on the street, walking on the middle of the road and talking all over the way. And it's very dangerous, let me tell you. You don't know, you come one crazy guy who just quarrel with the wife and drive on the road in full speed, and with his anger in his mind, he will ram into you. Let me tell you, don't take things for granted. I always say, don't take things for granted. Don't think that everybody will think like, so kind. No. When your mind is infested with greed, with hatred, with delusions, then you're going to have trouble. We are exposing ourselves to all the danger on the road already. Already it's dangerous. I use the word dangerous. Yeah? Don't think that it's fun. You've got to be very mindful of oncoming vehicle. And don't talk. I use the word don't talk. Because when you start to talk, your mind will be distracted. You want to discuss anything, move to a side. Stay put and talk. Don't walk and talk and walk and then bam, something happen. How? Who going responsible? Then your family member will come and jump on the monk. You see, stupid monk, make people walk on the road. They will scold the monk, they won't scold the lay people. No. You just stupid monk, especially the young king. You organize stupid trip. That become a stupid trip because one stupid person. Not us. So I want to remind again, please, if you want to talk, really want to talk, move to a side. Stay put, safe corner, then you talk. It's okay, go and talk, discuss what you do. But when you walk, don't talk. So they don't defeat the purpose of walking, the walking meditation. That should be the main call of the whole walk. I've got to remind again and again because it's like that. You don't remind, they forget again. Right? Human beings are like that. You see, we are so peaceful, so blessed, so blessed. You have peaceful country to stay in. You look at Ukraine now, and look at it, think, if a country is in chaotic, the mind is not trained. This is what happens. Greed, human greed, wanting more things. You have to have war. Our war is internal war. The Buddhist kind of, so what call we war is an internal struggle within your own mind. To lessen your greed, lessen your hatred, lessen your delusion until you can totally eradicate all fully up from your mind. And that should be the approach. And that's why when we say that you can't sit, okay, we do walking. And then we walk and you see people talking. So again, we are so blessed, right? And people supporting, and especially this place, the Great Stupa, they are so accommodating. They let us stay. So be considerate. Be considerate when you're using the water, the facility, any place that's not clean, please help to clean up. Don't complain. First thing, don't complain. You can help to improve, to clean up the place. I use the word the place because they are very kind. They say, please treat it like your home. Please treat it like your own home. So your own home, temporary home, even temporarily we clean up, right? So I hope this one will be a reminder to everyone, regardless of whether you are a monk or you're lay people.
It has been good, exciting, and tiring for elderly, but it's good, it's rewarding. Thank you.
Really amazing.
Yeah.
We just put on the
robes. Yeah, they were offered to his place.
I'm sure it's all they offer.
Yeah. So hard is to tell the showing everything we're doing on the city garden statue. So, and he's so happy with what we're doing. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. So it just happens that at this particular time he was here as well.
So he has 1,023 eyes. Now, at his most simple, he represents the wish to help other people. But in Tibetan Buddhism, every single statue has a very specific meaning. During meditation, the practitioner may visualize this statue so that they can then reflect upon the various qualities and the meaning behind those qualities. Take that understanding and apply it to their own personal development. So we're not actually idolizing any of these statues. They're there as a tool, or at the very least, to inspire one's practice and transformation. So they have a very specific purpose.
I was wondering why the statues.
And why there's so many different ones, especially in this tradition, they represent those different qualities we're trying to develop. Now this statue will be painted from head to toe, so he'll look just like the replica there. The only difference is all of the gold work will be done in gold leaf, and all 1,023 eyes have to be individually painted in on the large statue.
And by that stage, we're expecting that the whole ceiling will be enormous colour chakras. It'll actually be many lights in it.
I make this offering of sound to the Great Stupa on behalf of all sentient beings.
biggest obstacle to our practice is not external, it's ourselves. So we just have to work hard on our own mind to become to want to improve, want to practice, want to preserve the Buddhist teachings. If you have that motivation, I'm sure no obstacles. Yeah, thank you. And also, you're walking at the moment, and that's a lot of purification, a lot of...
She done a lot.
Yeah, so also purification, also accumulation of merit. And you need both of those also to take vows. So I think no problems.
The obstacles are outside.
No, none outside. Only look inside. I went to my, I did a 6-month retreat, solitary retreat, and I went to my teacher for advice. And one of the practices to remove obstacles. And my teacher said, no need with this practice. Only obstacle is here. So he said, you just have to work on that. So then no point looking out here for fault. Only inside ourselves. And that is why the Buddhist teachings are so special. Because we don't have to worry about what other people are doing. We only have to worry about what our own mind is doing.
Responsibility only yourself.
That's right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
So if we hold that, then we are in control of our own destiny, our own potential. Okay? Thank you.
Try asking, why things were the way they were, and whether, why there was so much suffering, and why some people were so well off and others were so poor and so on. And I kept looking at different things, Christianity of course, but also Hinduism and other things, and couldn't really find an answer that made sense here as well as here, if you know what I mean. And then I got involved in work in Melbourne and just became, almost tried to put it out of my mind. But and then I started, having long parties and lots of drinking and girlfriends and all sorts of things. And I realised that wasn't the way to happiness either. So I thought, just on a spur, I went to India, spur of the moment. And when I went to India, this was about 1969 or 70, you could see everywhere in India, you could see there were like little altars to the Buddha or to Ganesh or whatever it is. Every tree, every shop, every home has its own altar. And it made me realise that this was the thing that was still missing in my life. But still Hinduism wasn't, for me, I thought, that Ganesh, the elephant-headed god, and so sort of like funky sort of, but I didn't have that strong connection. So right at the end of that trip to India, I was in Banaras, in Varanasi, and just went there as a tourist to see that holy place. And it was so hot and so noisy and so dusty and smelly, and I thought, I just need to go somewhere. I need to find a park or somewhere a bit. So I heard in the hotel I was staying, they said, there's a park nearby, you can go there. So I caught a taxi there. It was only 2 or 3 kilometres away. And I walked into this park, and immediately on walking into this park, I had this beautiful feeling of like I was at one with everything and completely at peace. Like a feeling as if you've come home after wandering for so many years. And I thought, what is this place? It felt very strange to me because I'd never had this feeling before. And then I hadn't noticed on the way there was a sign, and it said, this is Sarnath, where the Buddha first gave his teaching, the first turning of the wheel. So it was that going to that holy place in India that really transformed my whole life. And then from that day, I bought a book there, What is Buddhism? Just a little book like this. And on the plane back to Australia, I read it, and I had the feeling, I know all this stuff, but I've never seen it written down like this before. So somehow or another, I think as I started to understand more about Dhamma, and that I thought, so this is what happened. Like by going to that holy place, then I was able to reconnect with this from a previous lifetime. That, to me, that's the only thing that made sense of that whole experience. And of course, from that day when I came back to Melbourne, where I was living at the time, got, my life transformed.
So they've got a house.
And I then sought out a Buddhist place in Melbourne where I could get teachings. And then a little while later, they were looking for a place in the country to set up a bigger centre. Couldn't find anywhere, and then I said to my father, this Buddhist temple I'm involved with in Melbourne, Tara House, looking for a place in the country, can't find anywhere. And he said, why don't I give you 50 acres here?
Your father?
Yeah, my father. He wasn't a Buddhist, but he just thought, like a lot of people, that Buddhism is a positive influence in the world, I think. So I then wrote to Lama Yeshe and said, well, my father's offered this land, what do you think? And he did he didn't do it himself, but he asked other people to do divination. And they said, yes, we'll be very successful. So then that was 1980. And then 1981, my wife, who I just met really about that time, and another man I'd met in Nepal, I said, I need help to set up the centre. So the three of us came here. And my wife came with 3 young boys. The youngest was 4. At that stage, there was no electricity here, no running water. So we lived in an old railway carriage, like pioneers, And we got the whole place going and started. And then that was 41 years ago or something. So just keeping at it. Yeah. And then Lama Yeshe came like the next year in 1981, and he took myself and another chap on a walk. So he was staying down in where Atisha Centre is, and there was like railway carriages down there. Actually stayed in a house very nearby. And we walked from Atisha Centre and came up to the bottom of the hill here on the way to the stupa. And he stopped at that point and he said, over here, pointing to the left, will be a big stupa. And he drew this big circle in the ground, and there'll be a big gompa inside it. And there'll be a library inside it. And over there, pointing this way, there'll be a village. And there'll be a hospice. He called it hospice, but like an aged care place. And then I said, oh, really? I said...
You couldn't imagine, right? It's a jungle.
Oh, he could imagine, as if he could see the whole thing. And then, so we walked up to the top of the hill. Now, it was all bush, and we had to go like this to get our way through. And we walked into the middle of it, and he said, this would be the centre of the stupa. And then from there, we walked up to that other hill where some of you are staying at the monastery. And he walked all the way up there and he said, this is where the monastery will be. And he walked from that spot. He kept walking and walking and walking. He kept thinking, how big is this monastery? It was just getting bigger. And he said, this will be the monastery. So really the monastery now is exactly where he said it was. And it's as big as he indicated. And the stupa is exactly where it was as well. The village is about to commence here. We're about to build 80 homes here. So bit by bit, all that he saw and told us about on that day in 1981 is coming true.
Today is the last day of the Tudong trip from Lara to Adelaide, and we finish at this temple, Wasi Ratanaram, right? And during the trip, we would like to perform this kind of ceremonies. That means asking for forgiveness in terms of your word, thought, or your actions, whether intentionally or unintentionally, that you had done, right? Through your knowing or unknowingness, right? Or it's unskillful thoughts, right? We human beings, no one don't make mistake. So to perform this kind of ceremony is to appease the kind of unwholesome state of mind. So if anyone during the trip bear certain grudges, bear certain ill wills towards anyone along the way, right? Especially to the monk or what, right? We forgive each other, right? Same thing. Monk also no superhuman beings, right? Monk also commit mistake. So this kind of ceremony, this kind of actions we're performing now, we call it Kho Khamma, asking for forgiveness procedure, right, is to enable to clear your doubts, clear your mind, so that you don't hold on to all this unwholesome state of mind in your mind, so that it doesn't obstruct you in the developments of your meditation. And this is very important, right? A lot of people, they can't meditate because why? They hold on to the past of what they have gone through in their life, how people ill-treated them, mistreated them, and they hold so fast to the kind of thoughts, hatred, and thus causing all this kind of mental obstruction in your mind. And you are always very sad, very down, very dull, right? You look like in a very negative way, that the whole world is against you. So remember, if you want to meditate well, remember, right? Like for example, when we do chanting, you realize that every time when we stop at the quality of the Buddha, Dhamma, or the Sangha, we will bow down. And then we will confess to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, that through words, through our thoughts, or through our actions that we have done wrong, right? We ask for forgiveness. And why? There's a purpose to why. So that your mind can be clear of the hindrances that is cropping up in our mind. This is very important, right? And to conclude our trip, this trip, and first of all, I want to give a big applause to the supporting call teams, those people who have put in their heart and soul, planning the routes, contacting different places, the lodging, the food. So whoever involved, right, the call team or those people involved, that shows your support for the propagations of the Buddha Dhamma, right? As we can see for ourselves during the trip, right? You can see who benefited. You yourself benefited, the first one. Who? You yourself, right? Because you are willingly putting through all this kind of hardship and training. Who benefited? You yourself first, right? And later, because of your own doing, you are also encouraging other people, right, to come along. And this is like a candle, lighting a candle. One candle can light up many thousand candles. So the brightness of the Dhamma, the brightness of this positivity, right? Thinking correctly, the kind of right views will arise in each and individual, so they can prosper to lead your life in a more happier lifestyle, you will know now, right? Don't take so much food. Do a lot of walking. Don't think so much. Most of the suffering come from where? You think too much, right? Again, and to coincide with our Chinese custom, we call it Cheng Meng. Today is the third. So a lot of Chinese people, they will go to the grave to clean out the grave, to bring food for the deceased, right? And then they will say good thing to the deceased people who have passed away, to ask for forgiveness, right? And luckily, we have been taught to forgive and not to take grudges. This is very important, right? And to transfer merits through all the merits accumulated, transfer it to the deceased, right? This is the Buddhist way of doing things, right? เนาะก็วันนี้ก็เป็นการปิดการเดินธุดงค์ธุดงค์แบบ domestic นะธุดงค์แบบมีการวางแผนนะประการแรกเราต้องอนุโมทนาบุญนะกับทุกฝ่ายที่ให้มีความสนับสนุนให้ที่พักอาศัยให้อาหารการกินทุกอย่างอำนวยความสะดวกนะก็ขออนุโมทนานะผู้เสียสละทั้งหลายนะเสียสละทั้งกำลังกายกำลังใจเวลาต่างๆนะมาจัดสถานที่ต่างๆให้คณะเดินทางนี่มีความสะดวกสบายนี่ก็ขออนุโมทนาที่มีน้ำใจต่อกันเนาะเราเป็นชาวพุทธไม่เน้นอะไรล่ะเน้นที่หัวใจนี่แหละน้ำใจเป็นสิ่งสำคัญของชีวิตของมนุษย์เราเนี่ยนะความเมตตามีน้ำใจต่อกันซึ่งกันและกันเนี่ยโลกนี้มันถึงจะอยู่เย็นเป็นสุขทำไมอย่างนั้นนี่โอ้มีแต่ทุกข์กับทุกข์เนี่ยกุ้มใจเรามาวัดกับวัดหัวใจนี่แหละไม่ใช่ไปวัดอะไรหรอกนะมาสวดมนต์นี่เพื่อจะมาพิจารณาตัวเองว่าเรามีจุดบกพร่องแบบไหนเห็นไหมเมื่อกี้เราก็นั่งฟังอยู่ข้างนอกก็นั่งเพลิงเหมือนกันนะพิจารณาธรรมไม่ใช่สวดแต่ปากเปล่าโบแล้วไม่พิจารณาเลยเวลาภาวนานี่ก็พิจารณาสิ่งที่เราสวดนี่ร่างกายของเราไม่เที่ยงน้อเนี่ยตายแน่เนี่ยถ้าตายอย่าไปถือโกรธถือบ้าถือบอถือเอาความดีนะความดีของเรานี่แหละความดีคืออะไรดีของศีลสมาธิปัญญานี่ทำบุญทำทานทำไว้เยอะแล้วศีลนี่ก็ไม่ค่อยรักษาสมาธิก็ไม่ต้องพูดถึงต้องเน้นเอาเล่งเข้าไปนะจะได้ไม่ต้องว่าเกิดมาเนี่ยแหมท่ารู้มันรู้อยู่แล้วมันไม่ทำมันไม่ท่ารู้เลยเนาะนี่แหละเอางี้นะมันต้องหลายภาษาคุยกันไม่รู้เรื่อง好，今天是最后一天呢，我们这个法行所以呢要用3种语文来讲解，为了利益更多的众生就是我们从 Lara 走到 Adelaide 来，在这个旅途的过程中呢，在这个身口意的方面一定会呢，有些人呢会在一种内心的一种摩擦，不明白，所以刚才我们做这个仪式ขอขมา就是呢ขอขมา的意思就是好像熟人的跟人家讲对不起这样对不起为什么呢？因为我们人是这样，如果你的心呢有这种牵挂，这种不善的念头牵挂在内心里面，你修行是很难的很难修行。为什么？很多杂念，因为你的心就很多些憎恨的心不愉快的心态就产生在你的内心里面，导致你内心呢很痛苦。所以我们人的心呢是最重要的。所以这次的法行，你会发现到呢，我们走的时候，你会越走越高兴，越走越法喜，对不对？这个就是法行的法力。那么这个法力必须要人类去实现，不是坐在那边呢，拿那个手提天在那边滑出东 ทุดงมือถือไงเนี่ยเดินแค่นี้เนาะเดินแค่นี้เนาะ เนาะไม่มีอะไรแล้วโอเค that's all we're gonna give blessing now the monk ให้พอเลยเนาะ okay by the power of the triple gems and all the goodness that you have done and accumulated, right, may be transferred and dedicated to the deceased relative, right? Your debtors, whether seen or unseen debtors, the devas, the divine beings that is protecting this world, right, and beings in the cycle of birth, aging, illness, and death. May they rejoice with our dedication of merit and may they gain a better rebirth. นะอุทิศบุญนะอุทิศบุญยะถาวริวหาปุราปริปุเรนติสากรังเอวเมวะนิโทตินาเพตานังอุปกปติอิจิตาปริตาตุมหังคิปเมวะสมิจตุสัพเพปุเรนตุสังกปาจันโทปนาราโสยะธามณิโชติราโสยะธาทิโยวิวันจันตุสัมปโรโควินาศตุมาเดภวันตรายโยสุขินิคายุโกภวะภิวะตานาสิริสนิจังวุฒาปัจจอิโนจัตตารโอธัมมวันทันติอายุวันโนสุขังภาลังอดาสิเมอาคาสิเมยะติเมตาสกาจเมเอตานันดากินาดาจาปุเปกัตตมโนสรังนาอิรุณาวาโสโกวายาวัญญาปริเดวนานาธัมเปทานมัทธายาเอวาดิตาริยัตโยอายัญจโคดากินาดินนาสังฆามิสุปฏิทิตานิการตาหิตายาสาธานาโสปะกปติโสยติธรรมโมจายานิตาสิโตเปตานาภูจาจักตาอุลาราบาลัญจาภิกขุนามานุปาดินังโอเมหิปุญญาปาสุตังอนาปคันติรัตนตยานุภาเวนะรัตนตยาเตจสาโลกโรกาภยเวราโสกสันโตจุปัตตวาอาเนกันตรายามปิเวนะสันโตอาเสสโตชายาสิทธินลาลาภังโสติภากยังสุขัมพลังสิริยายุจวานโนจาโภคังอุเดจยาสวาสัตวาสาจายุจาชีวาสิทธิภวันตุเตภาวะตุสัพพมังคลังราคะตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเตภาวะตุสัพพมังคลังราคะตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเตภาวะตุสัพพมังคลังราคะตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสดาโสติภวันตุเต